Hey everybody, it's Norris with the Norris Group. It is Friday, October 20th, and when it comes to the new tax proposal, what is it that you would like to see? That and much more as we cover the biggest headlines in real estate. On the radio show and podcast this week, we continue with I Survive Real Estate Part 4. This is the panel with David Kittle, Sarah Bonnert, and Sean O'Toole. You'll find out Zillow's true client and who it is not, you may be surprised, Property Radar and how it's changing the game and beefing up competition, and more about, yes, Zillow offers. It's not just for Wall Street anymore. That on the radio show and podcast. The National Association of Home Builders reported an increase in builder confidence by 4 points, putting it now at 68. The latest home sales and price report from the California Association of Realtors showed existing home sales were up 2.2% month over month and 1.7% year over year in September. The Mortgage Bankers Association reported an 8% increase in multifamily lending year over year, and mortgage rates decreased this week. 30-year rates are now at 3.88% and 15-year at 3.19. The power struggle is coming soon, literally. States like New York, California, Massachusetts, Hawaii, Vermont, and Arizona are working on revamping the electrical grid and changing the way your home is powered. Home batteries could be the next technology breakthrough that's powering your home, and it may come faster than a lot of people think. Batteries would allow storage of energy from solar to be used where solar isn't creating energy now. Let's be honest, most of us aren't home during the day where we can enjoy solar and turn up that air really high and not get charged for it. But batteries would change the game, flipping some of that solar energy being stored in your garage and being able to power you. Technically, you could be off the grid. However, you're not off the grid, and what they're not talking about, the media isn't talking about, is how things are going to change on how we're being charged. It costs a lot of money to maintain a grid, and you have to be plugged in because when you don't have power, you want to be able to flip on a switch and things turn on. So expect higher bills in their way of a reliability charge or a connection fee. Whatever they're going to charge it, they're going to have to change how they structure your bills, so stay tuned. Expect to hear more about Bitcoin making its way into real estate this year. Transactions in Lake Tahoe, Manhattan, and Texas have already hit the headlines over the last 30 days. Some builders and real estate pros are actually banking younger buyers, and more in the tech industry are going to be seeing this as a benefit and trying to use this as a marketing tool. Most sellers require the transaction to be converted to US dollars anyway, and the final price is of course set in US dollars. How would you feel? You know, in the last 45 days, Bitcoin has ranged from 2,600, I think, or the high 2,000s, all the way up to 6,000. That's a lot of change. What if you went into escrow? Escrow doesn't happen typically in 3 business days or less, unless you're working with a hard money lender. You know, what if the currency you had negotiated in Bitcoin and all that value dropped? It's a little scary, so we'll have to wait and see how more Bitcoin and real estate play well together in the next year ahead. Amazon headquarters 2 bids are due today, and cities all over America are clamoring for the chance to land 50,000 high-tech, high-paying jobs in their backyards. Apartment List did a study on how this would likely affect the new headquarters being in town and the local economy and rents. A lot of people aren't talking about that. Affordability is already an issue in a lot of these markets, so what would 50,000 new people in your area means to rents? Well, the most severely affected would be cities like Raleigh, North Carolina, San Jose, California, and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, with a 1 to 2% annual increase in rents. It may not sound a lot, but year over year, that's annually, by the way. So, you know, 10 years, that would be a potential huge increase. LA, Dallas, and Chicago appear to be the cities that would be least affected by 50,000 new residents popping in and driving up rents. Amazon, in another story, has contacted the largest landlords in the country to get them to buy $10,000 to $20,000 worth of lockers that will be installed in apartment buildings across the country. Landlords are going to market this as an opportunity and as an amenity, and if you live in big cities, it is an amenity, because if you don't have to drive downtown Los Angeles or around New York to pick up groceries, that's pretty awesome. They're spending 10 to 20 grand to purchase the lockers that ends up in the building, and Amazon says this new system will help save labor and money while also being a great convenience for residents. Adam Data Solutions released their list of 20 cities where home flipping is the most active right now, and where, well, hey, HGTV might be able to find their newest fresh-faced talent for their TV shows. Most of the cities resided in California or in Florida, a little bit of Texas, but we've also got Chicago in the mix. We've got Memphis, Tennessee, and Philadelphia and St. Louis. So a little bit all over, but definitely California and Florida and a little bit of Texas taking the lead. Zillow analyzed types of homes, geographic locations, and what would happen if the sea level rose 6 feet due to climate change. Well, if no changes are made to the current infrastructure and the sea level did rise by 6%, suburban areas are going to be affected the most, and less affluent homeowners will probably be impacted the most because they're the ones that have a lot more of their net worth tied up in their residence. It could cost up to $1 trillion if something like this happened, with 65.4% of the homes affected actually being in suburbs. Miami would be the city with the most at risk and hold 25.8% of all homes that could be lost if the sea level were to rise. Los Angeles, strangely enough, they were the only one that made the top 20 metropolitan areas that would be affected the most. Almost 35,000 homes would be at risk in the LA area. The Mortgage Bankers Association sent a letter to Congress this week expressing their support for a framework for fixing our broken tax code. With the debate continuing about what to do about tax reform, the Mortgage Bankers Association is joining a growing list of real estate associations chiming in. The National Association of Home Builders sent their support last month, willing to talk about mortgage interest tax deductions as being part of the tax overhaul. Man, why did they give up so easy? The Trump tax plan is a little low on details at the moment, and we'll be following industry associations like the MBA, the Builders Association, and the National Association of Realtors to see how they deal with this. There's a lot of different real estate things on the table right now. You've got 1031 exchanges, you've got the mortgage interest tax deduction, all low-hanging fruit for tax reform, so pay attention, people. If home ownership is truly a top priority, what would you do and suggest to all your professional associations to make sure that remains a priority? I would love to hear what you've got to say. If you're on YouTube, please leave a comment below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a beat. If you're on Facebook, please don't forget to not only like the Norris Group page, but don't forget to add us to your See First list and with notifications on. Leave your comments below the video, and if we missed something, share the story on our comment sections on either YouTube or Facebook, and we'll make sure to include it on our blog at thenorrisgroup.com/blog. We are winding down the year. We only have a handful of events left in 2017, but next Saturday, October 28th, we're doing the Cutting Edge Financial Tactics Brunch. We've put together 6 experts on panel talking about everything from 1031 exchanges to preparing for your taxes in 2017 and 2018 to an attorney going to be able to talk about estate planning and entities all on one stage for brunch. You don't want to miss that. Later on that day, if you're a VIP subscriber, please check your email. We've got a lunch just right down the street that's going to be right after that event, and they're both low cost. And if you attend one, you get to attend the other at no charge if you're a subscriber. So take advantage of it. For more information on hard money loans, you can check out our new site. We are still making some fixes, but check out thenorrisgroup.com. We've got information on fix and flip, buy and hold, and new construction starting at just 6.9%, which is awesome. If you want more information on passive investing with trust deeds with the Norris Group, check out tngtrustdeeds.com. With that, have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you next week.